second. Let me get off. I just threw on this hat and I just threw on this shirt because I was trying to get out here on time. Because as y'all are coming in, I got two stories to tell you, but let me sit down. Let me sit down really quick. We are still going to talk about the garden chores, but I got two stories. Let me put my phone on silent. Come on now, put it on silent. Yep. Okay, let me put my phone on silent. I got two stories I gotta tell y'all. So as you're coming in, this will be a good time. Give everybody a chance to come in because we are gonna go over the garden chores. However, y'all, when I tell you, I just threw the shirt on because I knew that the mosquitoes may be out, okay? But look, let me tell y'all, as you're coming in. So first of all, I just got back about 45 minutes ago from the Georgia National Fair. I want to see Fairgrounds in Perry, Georgia. And I told Chris, I said, good, we can make it home and I can go on live. He's like, you going on live? Yep, I'm going on live because I like going on live. I want to share with y'all what I've done over the week on live. But as you're coming in, y'all, let me tell you, two things I got to tell you before I show you everything in the garden. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible because I'm a little tired. I looked at my watch. Y'all, we did some walking today and I'm used to walking. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm used to walking, but we did some walking and we did some viewing of exhibits. It was, um, it was good. It was a good day. And the reason why I say it was good because I don't think I went to a fair in a while since the kids were little because once they started to get big enough to where either we could drop them off, like one parent drop them off, the other pick them up, or to where they could start going by themselves, I haven't been in a while, and I see why. However, the real reason for me going is because my cousin last year, I remember her FaceTiming me, let me look at parts of the fair. And she was like, you really need to come. They got a lot of agricultural stuff here. I think you will enjoy it. So this year, Friday, as a matter of fact, she asked me, was I going? And I'm like, I'm working, but she was like, I think you'll like it. She's like, we're going to go Saturday. And I really wanted to go Saturday, but I had to do some work, like on my regular job. And I'm just like, I don't feel like logging in today. I'm actually going to get up tomorrow and do a little bit of work. But the first thing I wanted to tell y'all and show y'all before we get started with the garden chores is, do y'all remember when Amazon had their Amazon Day? Okay. So I knew I didn't need a lot, but I had a gift certificate. And I was like, you know what? This will be a perfect time because I always keep stuff in my shopping cart. I'll save it for later or add it to my wish list, however it is. So I figured, okay, let me go ahead. Now, the first shipment came like it was supposed to come. The other shipment, every time I went on the app, they kept changing days on me, changing. I was like, see, and I didn't realize, y'all, either that the Amazon Prime membership went up too. I happened to check my credit card and I was like, wait a minute, they've gone up. And I'm going back and forth with Chris, like, he was like, I think they mentioned it. I was like, wait a minute now. I thought they supposed to put like a notification up there when you log in, like, hey, this is happening, this, that, other. But that's my fault, because I'm supposed to just not log on. I'm supposed to look. But I want to share with you two. So I got some cookbooks. Um, I'm trying this wild yam cream, ladies, for some hot flashes. So we gonna see about that. But I want to share with you two of the things I'm really excited to get. And what I'm going to show you now is I saw this same wind chime. I don't think it's a wind chime. It was called something else. I seen this same one on another site. I won't say which one it was, for about $70 more. But because of who I am, I always check multiple sources, multiple sites. I want to make sure that I was like, what is that smoke? I want to make sure I'm getting the best possible deal ever. And I actually found it on Amazon for about $70 less. So let me show you the first one that I got. At first, I started to put it towards my bedroom window, but I know how easy I am to, like, it doesn't take any drop of noise. Like, I can seriously hear a pin drop at night. I hear all things. I'm asleep, but I still hear stuff. So I'm thinking, like, when the wind blows, and I may move it, so I'm going to turn it around. So this is like the first one. It's not a wind chime. They called it something. It's supposed to make these noises or something. But this was on another website, y'all. When I tell you it was like $99, and I was like, And the only reason why I was on that website is because I had a gift certificate that someone had gave me, and I was like, I gotta use it on something, and I couldn't figure out what I should use it on. But when I put it in my cart, I just happened to put the name in. Like I said, it's called something else because of the way it's tuned. But I said, let me just check. And so when I checked, I did find it on Amazon for about $70 cheaper. I'm not going to even lie to you. And I say, you know what? Let me get off these other people's site. So I got up off of that and I used it on something else. The next thing I want to show you before I get into the conversation, because I really had to put in here, y'all, a conversation with the farmer at the fair. I mean, when I tell you this was a good conversation, I was like, y'all, oh my God. And I'm just going to give you the snippets of what I remember. But I also got, so I wanted to try out these tea tins because I shared with you about how my sister really loved the tea blend that I made. So I said to myself, I can offer this to also my garden friends too once I make it. Now, since we're a home garden, we're not growing this like on acres and acres of land, but I wanted to try out these tea tins, make some labels, see how it came out, and just offer it on our website. So they came today. This is really what I was waiting on so that I can be able to put like the bulk tea in here of the blend that relaxes you, that have the herbs in the garden. So I'm going to work on the labels. I'm going to send her this sample, and I got to see how much it gives me, like for this one. And I think this is a perfect size. It's a perfect sample size. I probably will look for something more on the recyclable, uh, more recyclable later. But right now, I want to try it in this because y'all, we got some good stuff that's coming throughout the rest of this year and next year, and I'm gonna tell y'all all about it. I just got to get it in motion. But before I go out to the garden, y'all, I got to tell you about the conversation that I had with a farmer today. So what I'm going to tell you is, for some odd reason, Chris thinks I have the most welcoming spirit ever. And like, I am not, what do you call, I wouldn't call myself an extrovert. Like, I just don't go talking to people, but if somebody talks to me, I will talk back. So what do you call, I'm not going to say I'm an introvert. I'm not going to say I'm an extrovert. Like, if you talk to me, I'll talk back. So it was this farmer. Why didn't I get some water? It was this farmer that came because let me tell you, today, I think I'm going to have to get some water. Y'all wait just a second. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get some water. I just took a breath, and I think it's this smoke that I got. Y'all hold on one second. Hold on. Okay. So it was like something that just went, and I think it's this smoke right here that went up my, yeah, that's what it is. Let me put it down here. So, okay, let's talk about the farmer. I want to talk about this farmer and the conversation that I had. And every time I have conversations, my wheels get to churn. I mean, they just get to going because I told y'all I'm the type of person where I don't really like to watch the news a whole lot. I don't like fear mongering. I don't like any of that. But just having this conversation with him, it was really eye opening to me. So Chris and I took a break because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, we did a lot of walking today, a lot. Probably almost 5 miles. We did a lot of walking, and so I was just ready to take a break. I was. So we sat on this bench, and I told Chris I don't want to sit in the sun, not right now. So we sat on this bench in the corner, and so a guy was like, do you mind me sitting here? This was the farmer. Do you mind me sitting here? And we were like, sure, go ahead. And so at first, it was like nobody was, Chris and I were having our own conversation, and he just happened to start talking. And so he was a farmer. He just got hit twice by the hurricanes, Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. And he was just saying, as soon as he was almost done cleaning up from Hurricane Helene, Milton came through where he stayed, and he stayed a little bit further south, down 75 south, in Georgia. If you know about the highways, he told me the name of the city, but I was like, you know what? I've never. Now it's some cities in Georgia I haven't heard of, but I was like, I've never ever heard of that one. So he was just saying that he still has not cleaned up. He's been trying to get a lot of the trees that have failed. The insurance company is just like doing whatever they want to do. He has to constantly call. But he's a farmer, and he has, I think he said pecans, he has cotton, and it was something else that I remember him saying, this is pecan harvesting season, and I really got to get this stuff done. And he said something else he had to do with the cotton, but he was just going over the prices of things, getting help. Like basically what he told me is he was like, farming doesn't stop because of the hurricane. It can slow you down, but when they are farmers and they have like things that they have to do, things that they have to get harvested, you gotta get it done. And so he was like, he got to get those pecans harvested. And that took me back to like, my grandmother, we had a couple of pecan trees on our property, and I can just remember those days right around now in the fall. We would go out there with our bags and just pick up the pecans for them, and barter them with people. And then like my grandmother would put the pecans in the freezer. But when he said he had 600 acres, y'all, 600 acres, where the hurricane really did a number on it. It was a structure, he said, not like it may have been a barn, but something else, because he doesn't have animals. But that got wiped out. And he's been trying, and he's an older guy, and he's been trying to get out there and move some of this stuff out of the way himself, because he can't keep waiting on the insurance company. And so, y'all know, I'm always like, thank a farmer. Like, if you know a farmer, thank them. So I had to thank him, because him and I got to talking in a deep conversation because of some of the things that I'm trying to do. And I was just telling him that even on a gardening level, I said, and that doesn't have, I mean, that's not 600 acres, but even on a gardening level, different things don't do well from year to year, because that's what Chris was asking him. Like, don't y'all have like crop insurance and this, that, and the other? But it's all of the steps and the red tapes and all of these things that they have to go through. And like he said, when they have um, when they have farm loans, and those farm loans are due, they got to get out there and they got to like they have to make enough to pay on those farm payments. And so I was just like, people don't realize how important farmers are. And for him to have been like two hurricanes back to back, because I promise y'all, he told me, he was like, just when I almost had everything cleared up, and then from Hurricane Helene, then Milton came. And he said Milton did like even worse than Hurricane Helene. And he had been back and forth on the phone with the insurance, back and forth, back and forth. And I know that he's probably not the only one affected in that area. But like he said, if you got a bank loan that's due and you got to get out there and harvest, you got to do what you have to do. And so we just talked about some things. He was almost like a consultant to me because I told him where I stayed. I told him what I was trying to do. And he almost, I mean, pretty much like consulted me on how to even like get started doing some of the things that I wanted to do. And I was just like, it's amazing how you're thinking about these things and then all of a sudden somebody will come into your life, like things you had questions to. That was what, because it was something that I told Chris. I said, just the other night I had a dream about it. I've been having these dreams, y'all. And so, but it was some things that I was trying to put down on paper, and I always tell people, put things down on paper, write it down, make it plain. That's why I put down my garden chores on paper, write it down, make it plain so you can come back and look at it. And sometimes you have to reverse things. Like you go from, okay, let's reverse engineer it. How do I get to my goals? This is in everyday life too, y'all. You have to reverse it. And so it was some things that I wrote down that I wanted to do. And I was like, okay, where should I start? How do I start? Who do I talk to? And I'm telling you, he pretty much consulted me on what I need to do to get started, and I was telling him how many acres we got. And he was like, oh yeah, that's enough. This is what you need to do, X, Y, and Z. And you start off here and you go here. Cause I think he said he was on some of the boards too. He's not now. But y'all, I just found that amazing how, I went there to see the displays. Yes, I'm with you, Jill 369. Blessing to the farmers, because I'm telling you, that's exactly what I was telling him. I was like, here I am when we had that 2 week rain. So you know how we had here in Georgia back in July, like we had about 2 weeks nonstop, like every single day, just rain, rain, rain. I watched a lot of my tomatoes split. I watched a lot of my tomato, like it was just too much rain at once. Rain is good. I appreciate the rain, but it was just too much rain at once. And so I watched a lot of my plants just like start splitting, getting like funguses on it. And back then I was like, it takes some work to be, and that's what I told this farmer. I said, I'm gonna tell you, I even say that for gardening, but farming, that's a whole nother level, because if you don't meet the quota, like if you got loans and if you don't meet the quota, you don't meet the demands, you can't pay that stuff. Like he was telling me, somebody down the street from them, I don't know what was going on, but the lady must have been there. He was like, she gonna lose her land, and that's the thing. Like I'm like, people are losing their farmland because of, it could be natural disasters, it could be like you don't make the payment, like all of these different things. But I know I told him, I said, I tell people, I'm gonna just be honest with you, I love gardening. I love it on, like I can get up and I can do something in the garden every single day. I know that's my passion. This is what I love to do. I love to nurture things like plants and see them go from a seed, all of that. But it's a little bit different type of pressure when you're a farmer. So I say that because in July, the tomatoes, I had to pull some of them up, cut some of them back, but I'm like, okay, well, maybe we won't have as many tomatoes this year. But just think about if you are a farmer and that, you depend on that income, and just in a matter of 2 weeks, like your whole crop can be taken out. Like we got to talking about the pests. He was telling me about, because I told him, he was telling me where to start, and I said, yep, I got my soil sample done. And I was telling him that my in-ground, the native soil, I said, yeah, my test said that my pH is 5.8. He was like, yep, you got to get it up. But he was telling me to use, oh gosh, he gave, and the thing is, y'all, he gave me his number before we left. Something sulfated potash or something. And he was like, and he was telling me like how much to put on there. Like, because he was saying per so many yard. I mean, he's been doing this, y'all, for four, I think he said 40 or 50 years. He was an older guy. But he was just saying, for what I told him I was gardening on, He was like, yeah, you need so many. I think he said a ton. He said because every time it'll take it up to like 10 points. So if you're at 5.8, 6.87, like he was just doing the math in his head talking to me. And he was like, yep, get you some calcium. He said, it may not seem like it's going to go up all at once, but give it a little time. Put it on there. Send in another soil test. This was y'all, he's farming 600 acres. So I'm like, taking notes in my head. I'm putting notes in on my phone because I definitely got his number. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna call you because he pretty much was like a consultant. But yeah, I was just saying to myself, like, even with the leafy greens that I just planted, y'all, I got a little pest damage from the worms on there. But imagine if this is what you are doing, not only to feed others, but to feed your family. This is what you depend on. Like, y'all know how some days, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, yesterday after I got off work, I took a nap. And I don't take a nap, y'all, but I felt like my body was telling me, you need to rest. And I even told myself, because Chris wasn't here, I even told myself, I said, you don't always have to be doing something. Your kids are grown. Sit down. If you want to take a nap during the day, take a nap. Y'all, it's so unusual for me to take a nap. Like, seriously. Normally I'm under the weather or something like that, but I literally had to tell myself, you don't always have to be doing something. When I got up from that nap, I remember coming in and out. But when I got up at 7:30 in the evening yesterday, I felt so refreshed. I just was like, ooh, because Chris takes naps all the time. He's in there napping now. Um, and he was like, I keep telling you, I don't know why you won't do it. Just sit down. But for some odd reason, I tell myself, which I'm going to stop doing that. I tell myself, um, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. I always tell myself, you don't have time to be laying down. You could be doing X, Y, Z. You lay down when it's nighttime, when it's time to sleep. But that really was a good rejuvenator. Now, am I a little bit behind? Yes, because I think I logged off work. So the nap was probably about maybe 2 hours, an hour and 30 minutes or something. But I'm telling you, but I was in and out. But when I got up, I felt like rejuvenated. Like if it wasn't getting dark when I got up from my nap, I probably would have came out here and did what I was supposed to do. Because I got some videos coming out for y'all this week that are gonna be good. But I just wanted to share that with y'all before we start on the garden chores. Like just talking to that farmer and just I don't know, that just did something to me today to where we need more people growing, y'all, even if it's on a small level. Like we need more people growing. And then we were also talking about the food. That's a whole nother live. We were talking about the food, some of the things that they had at the fair. Some of the things that they had at the fair, because Chris was like, you want something to drink? I said, nope, I'll wait. Y'all let me know in the comments. Let me tell you, it wasn't long. Now, if I go up the street to maybe like to the grocery store, I normally don't take nothing with me. But when I'm going on like a little trip that I've planned for an hour or longer, y'all, I done took me a whole lunch bag. I put 6 waters in there, 4 mandarin oranges. And like, he was like, why are you taking that? They got food at the fair. I knew I probably wouldn't want half of the food there. Because when I started looking at it, I was like, I'm not. Now, we ate some French fries. I did eat some French fries. And he kept saying, you want something to drink. Now, we did buy 1 water because I didn't want to walk back out to the parking area and get my water. But I had packed me a whole little lunch bag. And even when we sat down and ate, I said, he was like, you don't want anything to drink because Chris got lemonade. And I was like, nope, I'll wait till I get back out to the truck and I'll just drink some water. Like, I didn't want, back in the day, that used to be good, the kids. But we did so good, y'all. Like, me and Chris was saying, when we used to take the kids, they hit you across the head with these prices. It was like $35 for a wristband, y'all. And we got 3 kids. And then the bottled water was $4. The lemonade was like $10. To get in, I think it was like $15. But we still did good. The only thing that I bought, I should have brought it out here, is I got some beeswax. So inside they had different displays. And so they had this husband and wife who did the beekeeping. So they had like, they did have honey, they had like soap, but she also had beeswax. And I had just said I need to go to Atlanta and get me some beeswax because I'm ready to make some more calendula oil because calendula salve because I'm almost out. There, lo and behold, there she is with the beeswax. So I bought some beeswax, and yeah, Chris bought some honey straws. They had different flavor like orange, blackberry, the clover, and I think that was, and just food and water. Okay, Jill, have a good night in UK. Thanks for hanging out with me for this long. I hope you have a good night. But we still did good. Like, versus if we were to take back in the day our kids, because they used to get Chris all the time. Like, Dad, I'm hungry. And Dad, and I'd be like, no, we not about to play these games. But we still came out cheaper than taking them. Um, but let me show y'all what I did this week, okay? Um, and let me share with you what I got planned. So tomorrow, I'm gonna tell y'all while I'm taking y'all off the stand. Tomorrow, let me tell you this. So when I got up yesterday from my nap, y'all, and I don't know, I'm in a phase right now to where eating out, I'm just not getting satisfied with it. It's just like I don't know what my problem is. It's just not, nothing is seeming to be good. So y'all know I've showed you my library before. Um, I got a whole bunch of cookbooks. So yesterday I said, you know what? I'm finna go down in this basement. I'm about to I pulled out 3 cookbooks. One of them was the meal prepping. And I said, you know what? I'm about to start meal prepping again. Because I used to do that with my kids because I would have to commute an hour to work, commute to and from, an hour to work, help them with their homework. So I had to come up, like, I would go so far as to not only meal plan, but the menu would be like on the refrigerator. Like, this is what we have in the night. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to warm up. Like, you got to make it easy for yourself, especially if you have kids and you're working. You got to make it easier on yourself. But see, now that it's been me and Chris, a lot of times I can come in and do something real quick. But I just told myself yesterday, I'm going to start meal planning. And I got about 3 things that I'm going to do for this week. And when I say meal plan, when I get off of this, I'm going to make our ginger shots. I'm going to make our juices for tomorrow. And then I got a book with just like different salads, like salad bowls that you could do. So we can make that just something light. Yes, Just Bliss. It's the food. I'm telling you, and I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, because most of the time I can cook something real quick. But, like I told Chris, there are days I don't mind cooking, but I just don't feel like some days I just want to rest. And so we'll go get something to eat. And I'm like, this is just, it's food, let it nourish your body. That's what I tell myself. Let it nourish your body. But it's just, I can tell that my taste buds are changing because I'm like, it don't have no taste to it. And it is the food or whatever is not good no more. If you know, you know. Yep, 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 yep. And I think my taste buds are changing too because, like, I was telling this lady today when I was eating, I was like, this is just, she said, I had been telling Chris, I was like, this don't taste salty to you? He's like, no. But the lady across the table from us was like, yeah, it was good, but it's a little bit salty. I said the same thing too. I said, it's the salt. I said, now I'm getting thirsty. Now I'm getting thirsty. But I waited till I got to the truck to get water, but it's like my body is craving like vegetables for some odd reason. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to turn the camera around because if you did not see I think the last video we put up, this is the latest bed that we planted. So y'all remember I wanted to get some beds planted. So this is the latest one right here. I'm really monitoring this one. See, that goes back to the farmer. I'm really monitoring this one because this was not like this, but we gonna monitor it. What you see on here right now is the diatomaceous earth that I put on here. So we got red mustard And I got some sluggo in here too. And I was almost about to throw away this. And I said, no, 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 we're not going to do that. This is red dragon arugula. So I was able to save a couple of those, put those there. But we got Swiss chard. This is the spinach. No, this is Savannah mustard. This is the Swiss chard back here. I'm gonna watch these snapdragons because these are supposed to be bronze, and they're turning out, they're looking pink. A couple of them somewhere else, they look really, really pink. So I'm going to monitor those. So we did get this bed planted. And last week, what I wanted to do, remember I told y'all we're getting them planted little by little. That's what me and the farmer was talking about too. Because I was like, yeah, succession planting. We were talking about succession planting because what I will tell y'all is when you start planting things like all at once, and you got to start harvesting and processing all at once, you need to carve out some time for that. It's not a joke. I remember a couple months ago when I was harvesting all of those. Thank you, Jess Bliss, and welcome, welcome, welcome. When I was harvesting all of those tomatoes, like every day I made sauce with them. I made this super cool thing that I seen on Pinterest. So it had the cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, and you put like some dill in there. But I had to have something to do with them. I gave them away. I made more sauce than anything with them. I had like zucchini and squash. I was making like a kind of like a ragu sauce. Like I was doing all kind of stuff. But I'm saying that to say that when you do stuff all at once, you have to plan. How are you, even with the greens, are you going to freeze them? Are you going to can them? Because we're planting a lot of leafy greens. So I have been staggering my plantings, and I'm doing that on purpose. So I want to take you really quick. I got to water these flowers. Lord, I want to take you really quick. So this was no, yeah, this was, I'll show you the first two beds that were planted. So this was the first two. So we planted our lettuce. Y'all remember we had we had our kits on our website where we planted the lettuce, where this was the gourmet lettuce, and I told y'all I was going to plant with you. So this is how it is coming out. Isn't that beautiful, y'all? I told y'all to get the kit. If you didn't get it, I told you to get the kit because this is like one of my favorites. So if you're not on our email list, go ahead and get on. It's not a subscription box. I probably should change that verbiage, but it's a wait list because we've started offering seed kits. And I want to offer it to get more people to starting to grow, but I also like to do easy things, things that you'll be it won't take long to do, easy germination, because it's some things like, for example, what did I just plant? And it takes about 3 weeks. And I know a new gardener or somebody who's thinking about beginning, if you see something that don't pop up in, like, I would say about 3 to 5 days, you'll think that it's not going to germinate. But me being a gardener for like over 20 years, I know that it's some seeds that do take a while. What was it that took like 21 days? And I'm starting to see it pop up. I'm starting to see it pop up now, but I try to pick something easy. Like literally, if y'all been following me, when I planted these seeds, I say in about 3 days, they were popping up out of the cell trays, popping up, popping up. They were popping up, and they're so pretty. But this was like one of the first beds we planted. We started this Swiss chard over here from seed, and I'm now starting like the big leaves you see like this. When I get off live, I'm going to break this off, and I use this to put in some of our juices right here. Now, I started this row right here. This was one of the first beds that we planted. And what I did is I let this grow a little bit, but then I came back about 2 weeks later. I planted some arugula. I planted some Florida broadleaf mustards, and I planted some collard greens that are right in the back. So this is like the very first bed. I was also working on this bed right here. And I'm just doing it in phases. I'm not doing it all at once because I know the amount of work. That's what let me tell you, I told the farmer today, I'm going to repeat it again, y'all. And a lot of people you might get offended, but I'm telling you the truth. Like, I am a gardener. I ain't finna sugarcoat stuff. I'm not finna sit up here and lie to people like, oh yeah, gardening is great. I want people to grow. their own food. And you don't have to grow food. Y'all see that I always do vegetables, flowers, herbs. I do them all. But I'm going to tell you this, and you can take it however you want to. Gardening is not for the weak. It's not for the lazy. You cannot plant these things and think they are just going to mysteriously just come in the harvest. Like, you cannot put things in the ground and maybe in about 57 days think that you just gonna come and harvest it. I'm out here almost every day because I just told y'all I took a nap yesterday. I'm out here. No, but I still came outside. I still came outside that morning and I did. Oh, that was because I put a post up. I was supposed to be, I had to continue to tell myself, this is not what you out here supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be planting something, and that's why this water hose is right here. I didn't got the water hose and like, oh, let me water this real quick. And then I kept saying, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. You didn't come out here to water today. That's not what you came out here to do. But this was the second bed we planted up. And then, y'all, bless these bees heart. This was the third bed that we planted up. So in my garden chores, I tell y'all that every week I try to plant a new bed up. So it was this bed this week. So we got this planted. Now I got two more beds that I have to plant. This one is doing good. When I tell y'all, I have been watching these plants like a hawk because all of these right here, we started from seed. We started them inside. And man, this tatsoi is doing good. The tatsoi is doing good, y'all. But we started all of these except for the pansies. Now y'all know about them and I need the water. I started these marigolds from seed, but all of these things we started from seed. But as you can see, like some of them try it, little bug bites right here. But that's why I did the video and I told y'all I try to do now triple protection. So what I do is I put the diatomaceous earth around the base of the plant. I put it on top of the straw mulch. And then, because I keep seeing these slugs, I put the sluggo on. And you're going to always see me with vegetables, flowers, herbs. So if you're new to the channel, I do not plant like one of a raised bed of no kind. And I do that. So let me clarify myself. So you might see tatsoi, a few right here, but you also might see some tatsoi down there because this is my thought process. They might just attack this bed right here. We hope they don't. I try to monitor it, but I would still have some tatsoi in another bed. So the term that they use is like monocropping. So I don't do monocropping. I plant vegetables, flowers, herbs. The marigolds give off a scent that the pests don't like, but that don't, let me tell you, some of the pests, they don't care about the scent. They come. The herbs, they also give off a scent. So right here, we got the creeping rosemary and we got some marigold. But I always like to plant vegetables, flowers, herbs together, not just because they look good, and which they do, but because everything is like cohesive together and I want them to benefit from each other. So that's why I do that. And it looks good as well. Now, some of my containers, you may see just one thing in there. Sometimes I put a few flowers in there, something like that. And so we'll go with that. But let me show y'all what I've been telling myself. I said, I am not going to get on another live and I have not started this project. Y'all know for 3 weeks now, I've been lying, talking about, yeah, we're going to break ground. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, and I was like, you gotta go live on Sunday. You not why do and it's not even about lying. I'm like, why do you keep lying to yourself? But why do you keep lying to the people? Girl, get out there. And let me tell y'all where I really like got up and I said, that's enough is enough. Stop it. I know you don't want to do it. Because y'all know I told y'all I'm the type of person. Now, we took a poll on this. Some people said that if it's something they don't want to do, they rather go ahead and do it and just get it over with. I'm the opposite. Child, I wait till the last. And I'm like, oh, let me just go ahead and do it. But remember last Saturday, I went down to my hometown to help my mom plant roses around the new sign that they had at the church. So and these were 3-gallon pots, y'all. When I looked at the clock, I had planted like 6 roses in about 45 minutes because we had to go back to Lowe's and get the mulch. And then we put the mulch down, 10 bags. And I said to myself, now, if you have done this, why you can't go and plant, like if you done 6 roses, 3 gallons, those are big. What I'm about to show y'all, these were 1 gallons. They didn't take a good 5 minutes, but now I got to place them. So let me walk over here, y'all. I've been taking down a lot of tomato cages and I need to go put them up in the workshop, and put a lot of summer things up. I still got some tomatoes growing over here. I've been harvesting calendula every day, for the calendula salve, although I got enough to make me some calendula salve. But let's walk over here because I've been doing a little planting. I know this bean did not come up because this was not here the other day. Y'all, this bean and can't you see this? So I'm planting leafy greens here when I promise you this was not here yesterday. Y'all, the bean them propped up. And I promise you that in these raised beds, we're going to have a lot of volunteer plants as well, because some of them, yes, I did. Yes, I did let go to seed. This is what stopped me yesterday. So we planted some little pansies. These I planted from seed, and I've been watching these. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I lost one right here, and I think I lost one right here, to whatever took it out. So I'm going to put a little bit more diatomaceous earth, but we started these from soil blocks. Let me tell you, y'all know I've said over and over again, when you get this straw mulch, sometimes you'll have a good batch, sometimes you'll have a bad batch. This is what I'm starting to figure out. I noticed that in the fall, that's when I have the bad batch. And I think it's because they're starting to go to seed and they're batching it up. In the spring, like all of this mulch that's over there, the old mulch, it didn't pop up. I know people like, you going too far, but look, this is a bad batch, y'all. Okay? So I come through here because I do not like the way this looks. And I have to come through here and I have to pull these up one by one because I didn't do what the lady told me to do, which is to wet it down, close it up, let it suffocate, and then do it. I just needed to put it on there because I didn't want my soil bare. And so this is what is happening, but I'm not finna do this on live while y'all are on here. I'm not on here for this. I'm on here to show you that I told myself, stop lying to yourself. I actually went to go get another. So last week I also told y'all I needed to go get another bird bath topper. And I did go, but they didn't have what I needed because this base, it has like a little indentation and it sits on it. So they didn't have one like that. So I'm going to go maybe to a couple of more tomorrow. If they don't have it, I'm gonna have to just get a whole new bird bath. So because this is our pollinator island, we also did a video on this one, but I do remember saying that I needed to go and replace the top part, because now it's leaking a little bit more. And with this little thing inside that shoots up the water and lights up at night, I don't like for it to be dry. But every time I put water in there, so the leak is getting worse and worse. But we'll take care of that for the pollinator garden, which is good. I know a couple things I'm gonna have to cut back. Probably late winter. I'll cut them, give them a good cut back so that they can pop back up in the spring. But right now, the pollinators are still loving everything, especially these salvias right here in this butterfly bush. But we have wild onions that pop up, and so they keep popping up over here and also in the grass. But this is the problem that I'm having with the wild onions. So y'all know right here, I planted the alliums. I planted Glove Master, but I also planted some that look like little, I don't know, I got them from Costco. So now I'm like, are those the wild onions, or are these my alliums popping up? Now see, I think those are my alliums right here. But I'm wondering, I think these are the wild onions. But I'm wondering, is that my allium? Like, because they're wild onions, they're all in the allium family. So as they pop up, I'm like, are those the wild onions? See, I think this is the wild onions too. right here, like which one is which, because I don't want to pull my alliums up, okay? I don't want to do that. And I'll just go ahead and show y'all before I go show you what I'm going to show you. We got to get on this bed right here. I think I harvested some of my peppers last week, but I'm about to get on this bed right here because it's like a jungle. Some still going. I've been picking as many tomatoes as I can off of here, but we got a lot. I know we're going to have a lot of volunteers here. So do y'all follow Florette? These were some of the seeds that I ordered from her when she had like a seed sale. And I forgot the name of them, but I did order some zinnia seeds. So these are those right there. I forgot what color she said. So that was from Florette. And then I got a few peppers down here. But I think this bed got to get up under control. I also planted this bed up right here, I think the same week. And I've done videos on these too, y'all. So if you want to go back, watch the videos, you can. See, I got to monitor this one right here. This is why I come out here every day. I got to monitor that. So I'm going to put a little bit more diatomaceous earth and sluggo down here. And then we just got some really, like, this is red cabbage. Just little small things, but they're getting bigger. And then broccoli in the back. So, okay, because y'all know I just keep getting off track, and I'm known to do that. Just follow me along, y'all. It's going to be good. It's going to be so good. So as I'm walking here, do y'all see? I told you I wasn't going to keep lying to you. I'm going to tell y'all my dilemma now, because Chris has came out and was like, how am I going to get around with the lawnmower? I said, Chris, by the time I get done with this area, you're not even gonna have to come over here at all. So we start breaking ground. Okay, so these are the drift roses. This is the peach one, and then we got the daisies in the second row, and then we got the salvia in this row. Now I'm gonna move back because I want y'all to follow me. So probably right before, either right after or even with, is going to be an arch. I'm looking for the perfect arch that will be, this is going to be the entrance. Now, what I am going to do this week, because we're not going to be fighting with, I don't call them weeds anymore. We're not going to be fighting with things that we don't want in this place, because all of them are plants. They're just plants that we don't want in that particular area. So I am going to lay the weed tarp right here, but I'm also going to come in either with cardboard or the weed tarp and just go ahead and line these up right here. We're going to go ahead and do that. But now that we've broken ground on this, everything is growing, everything is looking good. Let's talk about the garden chores. I know we are about 40 something minutes, almost 50 minutes again. Let's talk about the garden chores. Now we have to start placing the real roses, which is about 40 of them. That's back here. We got to start placing those. Do y'all see them over here where my hand is pointing? It looks like it's blurring out. Those right here. So now we have to start doing our placement for this area right here. And I've done other lives, and you all said I should do like an ombre effect. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the ombre effect, where we're just going to go from light to dark. The only issue I have right now is we have from white all the way up to a dark red. But it's two varieties from David Austin that were new this year, that are more of an orange and a yellow, and I decided to try it out. So now I'm like, where are you going to put that? But we will figure it out, even if I have to put it in a pot. But the only thing, after I go ahead and place all of these roses for the rose garden, because this is going to be the rose garden area. That's why I was telling Chris, don't even worry about over here, because by the time I get through planting 40 something roses and doing the strawberries over there in Berry Lane by the fence, you're not even going to have to come in this back right here. Now, what I did do is I said, okay, when he cuts the grass, he can come through the double gate, but he can go this way. He didn't even have to come this way except to like weed eat over the fence. So that's how I'm going to do that. But as I came out here the other day, but I'm like, where do you want to start with the roses? Like, do you want to start going back or bring it out a little bit with our arch? Do you want a seating area? So that's where I'm at now. So feel free to put it in the comments. What do y'all think? But I do know I got to get two more climbing roses, and I want them to be climbing and climbing up the arch once I find the perfect arch. I've been looking for it, but we'll have those come up. Then we'll have the drift roses, the salvia, the daisies, and then it'll start like all of the roses because I've shared with you all before, roses are edible. And I use a lot of roses in my tea blends. I make rose spritzers for my face, rose petals. Just I do a lot of different things with roses. And so we are going to grow a rose garden. That's what we're going to do. So this week, I'm going to go ahead and start just placing the buckets. I'm not going to say I'm going to plant all 40, y'all, because I really do strategically have to see how far I got to come out so that, Chris won't have, I don't want him to have to even come over here. Not anywhere over here. Once I get done with the berries and all of those things. We don't even want to have to come over here. But this was my other dilemma. He still has to come by the magnolia tree. So maybe he'll just have to come just this way up. Because he still needs to come and like cut over here and cut over there. But we'll figure it out. I know he gets mad at me because I just do stuff and then be like, oh, okay, maybe I didn't think about it like that. And I get what he's saying because he was like, you just start stuff and you don't think about the ease of me having to get through because it was over here and where else? It blows grass in here. And so, yeah, but that's okay. That's all right. Like I told him when we first moved here, I said, by the time I'm done with this backyard, you probably won't even have to cut back here. You just worry about the front yard. And if I have enough time for that, I'm going to start working on that as well. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to get those placed, y'all. But we're also going to go ahead and get these two raised beds. These are my last. We're going to get these pulled. We're going to get these strawberries pulled up and put over in Berry Lane. And the walking onions, I still don't know where I want to put those at. I still don't know. Because we got some that's walked over and they're starting to make new ones. I don't know because I said I could put them over by the strawberries because that was the purpose of me companion planting my strawberries with my onions because they're good companion plants. But I was like, if you're going to call that Berry Lane, do you really want walking onions over there? So I don't know. My garlic that we got in, that's going to go over here in this bed. This bed is spoken for. The only little space I have is where this lemongrass is. We had a tomato here, but I don't even think this is going to be big enough. I think I need more space because they're walking onions. I didn't want to put them in my herb garden because that's a little bit, they really multiply. Like if I had them in the ground, walking onions, if you haven't heard of them, y'all look them up. They really, really multiply a lot. They walk over and they make new ones. Now I can pull up the bulbs and do what I need to do there, but I really wanted to put them in ground. So maybe I may make like a barrier or like what do you call it, in between Berry Lane. Maybe I'll put like one row of the walking onions and then start my strawberries over here because we have the tea plants over here. I am replacing one of the pink lemonade blueberries that I don't think is gonna make it, and that's okay. I gotta tame these up. These are the blackberries that are supposed to be stand up. They supposed to stand up. Some of them do have stand up habits, but some of them are starting to trail. So I really want to clean this patch up. These are the tea plants. I got one more tea plant. So what I'm saying is I was going to put like maybe a strip of walking onions right here. And I know it's going to be called Berry Lane, but my thought process is this will help companion planting. Like this will help ward off some of the slugs, because that was the problem that I had even in the raised beds uh last year, was the slugs. So here in the Atlanta area, we got, it's a slug problem. It's a slug problem, and it's a Japanese beetle problem. Um in Savannah, when we stayed in the Savannah area, we had a squash vine borer problem. And yeah, we had slugs too. But these slugs, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about these slugs. I just don't know. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put that strip of walking onions right here, and then we'll take it from here with the strawberries. Now I planted all my strawberries, so I don't think I did a video on it, but I shared with y'all that I ordered from a company, and I know it wasn't their fault because of the hurricane. The shipment was about 4 days late. I opened the box immediately, just like they said. 100 of them things, look, they had checked out. And I called customer service because I'm like, I'm not about to pay all of this money for these four. It was a total, I ordered two of 4 pack, and I'm like, nope, 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 nope. Only two of them seem like they may make it. The lady did ask me, go ahead, give them 30 days, please, and then call her back. But okay, I'm gonna give it 30 days. I'm gonna give it 30 days, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be stuck with them like that. So either a refund, or either, I really just want them to send me out another pack of strawberries. I really do. I don't even want a refund. I really want to grow those strawberries. It's the white strawberries that you've seen in the store. I just really want to grow those. Yeah, I'm with you. Be frugal. That's why I was like, just put this right here, let it walk, don't let it walk too far, the walking onions, and it can act as like a natural pest for the strawberries. And then we're gonna do like maybe, one, two, I'm looking at Chris lawnmower lines, and I'm thinking like 1, 2, 3 lines of just strawberries. But I don't want to go out too far because see, we got a lot of trees, and then that might start shading it out. But I know at least I'm not good. No, let me reword it. Y'all, I'm starting to reword a lot of things. I need to do better with my measurements. That's what I need to do. I need to know. I know that probably from this post to this post is like 6 feet. So I would say probably about 12. We'll go like 12 feet out and then come up even and put these. But I'm glad that Be Frugal said that, because I was gonna put like some flowers like in the front as well, not all the way across, because I still want to walk through. That's the purpose of these paths right here, is so I can walk through, do what I need to do once I clean it up. But I wanted to put like maybe some flowers in the front where the paths are not. And one of the ones I was thinking of is I had like some red echinacea that I was going to put here. So we'll see. But I'm just giving myself, y'all, remember I said 3 to 5 tasks every week. I'm just going to put the roses. I'm just going to start putting those out. I'm not going to say I'm going to dig them all, but I'm going to start putting them out. I'm going to get the other 2 raised beds planted because I have some plants that really need to come on and get planted, that I have like seriously on the kitchen counter. And it's just like some random leafy greens that I was planting in this bed that I was like, okay, I'm not going to, I'm still going to plant them. But I like to just kind of space them out here and there. So it's going to be these 2 beds that I'm working on. And this gumfrina right here, y'all, let me tell you, it did what it needed to do too. I am going to plant gumfrina next year too. These I started from seed right here. These I bought. I really like these better. This is called pink truffles gumfrina. But when it comes to the sturdiness of the plant, that's why I like these. These are just, you see how they flop and they just all over. I don't have anything staking these, none of that. They're really good. These, I liked them. I like the color, but they just flop. So that's what we're gonna plant. These 2 beds right here. We're gonna start on the rose garden, but that also means that I got to take these strawberries up, get them planted, and take these walking onions up and get them planted too. I'm telling y'all, I wanted to start working on, oh, let me tell you okay, this was what I was supposed to do yesterday. Then I'm going to get off. I'm going to do these containers right here. Not these. I think these are going to be super quick. These won't take long. I'll pull these up. I was so mad at these calibrachoas because we had these lined this summer, like in the hanging baskets. And we also had them in these containers here. We got 2 of these containers over here. Well, let me tell you, in the heat of the summer, they were like checked out. And I was watering, y'all, these are self-watering containers. They were just like checked out. All of a sudden, when the weather started getting cooled out, they just like, oh, okay, let me pop back up. And I'm like, no, you're about to get pulled up. We're going to put some pansies or either some of the little small snapdragons in there. But I'm not worried about these containers. These containers over here. So do y'all see this Gumfrina too? It stays up so well. It really does. I want to pull that, but nope, nope, nope. We're not talking about that right now, y'all. These 3 containers right here, they are getting done this week. I was supposed to film this yesterday, but that's when I decided to take a nap. And I'm going to tell you why I want to get it done. It's because y'all remember all that rain? Well, these got water in here. I got to get this water out because I feel like it's a mosquito haven. This one doesn't because we planted. Let me tell y'all the quick story really quick. So we planted this one with the alyssum, the licorice plant, and the geraniums that you can't see. They didn't come to their height like they were supposed to either, but that's okay. So when I first got these containers, y'all can go back some videos before, these were on clearance at Home Depot for $14. And I'm like, yes, I didn't hit the jackpot, y'all. They were regular like $149. Did a video. So I'm going to show you exactly what I got. I need to come over here and water too. I got these pots also at Home Depot. And I was like, yes, this is going to work. And I was like, I think this one was like $20 and then $34 because these black ones were $14. And I was like, okay, I'm out of $34 and these look good. This is what I want. This will be a beautiful display. Well, when I put that container right here, I measured it, put that container in here, everything was good. Put the soil in there, y'all. It was like, nope, it fell. It kept falling, kept falling, kept falling. So I'm like, God dang it, I can't use it. So what I did was I went on Amazon and I got one maybe 2 inches bigger. These. And I was like, perfect, these work. So I only bought one, tried it out, and I was like, okay, these work perfect. Plant this in here. Now, when I went back to order the other colors, I'm looking at it because I'm like, which one did I order first? Well, to make a long story short, it had to be, I ordered the black one, and I was like, but why is the gray one there? Maybe they only had one gray one left and one black. But basically, I couldn't get all 3 of them the same color. But I said to myself, by the time these grow over and all of that, you're not going to be able to see this part right here. So who cares about the color? So to make a long story short, first of all, I had to get more soil. So I ran out of soil. And the lady on the phone, because I just ordered some back in July, she was like, ma'am, what are you doing with the soil? I said, I'm topping off my raised beds. So I had to wait one day. I got behind because I had to wait one day because I had to get some more soil. But I tell y'all, if you call early enough, if they don't come out the next day, it'll be the day after that. I called in the afternoon once again. So they didn't come out the next day, but they came out the day after that. So I know my number one goal is to plant these up because I got some little plants, these dracaenas. I'll tell y'all what's going in there. I'm still debating on the other ones. I got these right here. That's going to be like the thriller to it. So I want to get those planted. I'm still thinking about, do I want snapdragons? Do I want the Dusty Miller? Like what exactly do I want in here? So we'll figure that out. I told y'all, that's why when I make videos, I always say, y'all stick with me to the end because I can tell y'all one thing at the beginning of the video. And I'm telling y'all, once I start pulling out everything and getting stuff placed, it's like something just come over me and say, don't put that right there. Put it right here. Put it right there. This is the bed that Chris got mad about because look, it throws grass back in here. And so I'm constantly pulling up like the grass. But these are all, y'all, these roses were all clearance right here, but I do need to come in and deadhead. But we're not worried about that. We're going to stay on track. So number one, y'all, number one, I'm going to get those other two raised beds planted. That's number one. Number two, we are going to start placing the roses in the rose garden. We've got to do that. And it could be like 2.5 to 3 because remember, the raised beds with the walking onions and the strawberries, in order for me to get that planted, I got to go plant those strawberries in the ground. So that could be like 2.5. And then 3, we're going to do the containers that I just showed you. I think I'm just going to put this in here too. This won't take long. I'm really torn about this creeping Jenny. You got to watch this. It will starting to root. You don't want this to root. It'll take over. It's another one. That's why I got it like throwed up like this. I don't know if I want to cut it back again. And the reason why I say I might pull it, it's almost like mint, y'all, because it's starting to go like all over. You see? Like all over. Like it's starting to take over this whole container, which may be why this is like this. Because let me tell you, I ran out of creeping Jenny and it's not in here. The creeping Jenny's not in here, so I think I'm gonna pull it. Y'all just told, yep, I think so, cause it's really taking over, and I don't want it to. Oh man, I don't want it to root in the ground. So we're gonna take that out, and then I'm gonna see if this is the reason why this is kind of dying a little bit. And I think we're just gonna put like just some regular pansies and Dusty Miller in this one. This will be a real simple bed right here. So that's what our garden chores are going to consist of. Now, y'all, I put up a post because sometimes I do come out here and just go doing random stuff that don't have nothing to do with what I'm doing. Because I'm really thinking about if you're going to do these, then why not just go and do these containers? Like get the containers, get most of the containers done and over with. But let me see how my time is after I get done with the 2 raised beds over here and starting to place the roses and then the 3 containers I just showed you. And then I'll be like, okay, maybe I can take on a little bit more. I think that's what we're going to do, y'all. I think that's what we're going to do. It's going to be so nice. And I want y'all, if you're not subscribed, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button too, because it's going to be really nice. Now, let me tell y'all this before I go off. I'm always one that's looking out for seeds because I like to start a lot of things from seeds. I start a lot of things from seeds because where I'm at, even when I was in Savannah, they're only going to sell what sells. And so if it's something that you want to grow, you may not find it at your local garden center. So I love starting seeds. I'm saying that to tell you that Territorial Seeds has a good sale on their seeds. And then Burpee has 50% off all of their seeds. I think their sale goes off tomorrow. So if you're in the market for seed, now let me tell y'all this. Let me put this disclaimer out because I don't want y'all to say, now she's sending us here and all of this stuff out of stock. Now, Burpee, there were a lot of things out of stock because I wanted those hibiscus seeds. I saw them, I put them in my cart Friday, and I said, I'm going to wait till I have time to sit down and really go through the website and put them all in there. Well, when I went back yesterday, they were sold out, the hibiscus seeds. So today or tonight, maybe tomorrow if it's still going on, I don't know when the sale ends. I think they said this weekend. But a lot of their things are sold out on Burpee, 50%. But Territorial Seeds, they had everything that I wanted. It said it was in stock. So if you like to start seeds, I tell y'all all the time, I will buy seeds now. Now, the only seeds that I will buy and make sure that I go ahead and use up are onion seeds because they don't last as long. You know, like leafy greens, carrot seeds, cucumber seeds, tomato seeds. They can last as long as you store them in a cool, dark place and store them correctly. They can last a few years. I have noticed just from experience that them onion seeds, they do not last. They do not last a long time. I found that out with parsley too. So just be mindful of that. But that's how I get a lot of my seeds, like on clearance, is I wait to they put them on sale, and then I will get them. But again, I haven't sat down, I'll probably do that either end of December or 1st of January to sit down and get our spring seed kit ready. Um, we had a summer kit, and then we also had the fall kit. And the fall kit we only had limited, and I always tell people, go ahead and get them because I don't want to. I have my seed license, and so with that, you have to sell them like within that year. So um, even if I do have extra seeds after December 31st, I can't sell them like legally. I can put them in, sometimes I will put seeds in packages as like free gifts for people they don't buy. But I could do that, but just make sure that you're signed up. I'm going to sit down because remember, y'all, I want people to be encouraged to grow. So I'm going to get something that's easy. I'm going to get something that's fun to me. I can't say it might not be easy or fun to you, but what I can tell you with the gourmet lettuce kit, and I'll go back and show that to you again. They may still be on the website. I have not checked because I know September 30th I said I wasn't going to ship out anymore, but if it's some on there, we'll ship them out. But I can tell you it's not a lot. But and if you're able to grow, I'm not just trying to sell y'all anything. I always tell you to know your first fall frost, your last spring frost, your growing zone. But if you do get them this year, I know that these will be okay for like the spring season. But this is what they look like, and these are my favorite. And what I loved about these, and what I do love about them, is if you're one that checks on your plants when you start them from seeds like 100 times a day, like I do, I say in about 3 to 5 days, you will start to see them pop up. These are the ones that's actually pelleted, which I like working with pelleted seeds because, especially lettuce, because they're really small. Lettuce, even if they're not this kind, I will soil block because the seeds are small. Like my seedlings, like these, like the small ones, I will soil block those because I feel like when I use the 1/2 inch soil blocker, me personally, I feel like I have better control over the soil block versus when you put them in the cell trays because you don't want to have them like overly saturated all the time. Like you want to have them moist so they'll germinate, but you don't want to have them overly saturated. And so that's why I chose these. You can put them in the cell trays, which we do, which the kit does come with that. But you have better control of it because it's pelleted. That's why I like those. And these Swiss chard, they're not with the kit, but we actually, if you ever seen Swiss chard, they're you control. So a lot of people ask me which one do I prefer. It depends on the type of seed that I'm starting. If I'm starting a bigger seed, then by all means, I will put it in a cell tray. But if I'm working like with really small seeds, like the pansy seeds, the viola seeds, I will soil block those because I feel like they won't get too saturated, and I feel like I have better control over the seed. So y'all, I've been hearing some stuff. So that means it's time for me to go inside. But again, we're gonna get some things done. We're gonna get some things done. Look what bloomed. Hey, I've been watching this one because I couldn't remember what color it was. But isn't this a pretty yellow rose right here? So that means that these right here, y'all, I just be buying stuff sometimes. That means these are like this orange type right here. And so Amazon did finish bringing me my stuff, but I want to hear how this sounds. I'll leave it right here for now because if I move it over a little bit, I think it's a little bit too close to my bedroom, and I know that'll wake me up. But we'll see. We'll see. That's how it looks. I'm telling y'all, it was a whole $70 more on another website. I was like, they are crazy. Okay, y'all. Well, I am going to go ahead, go inside. I hope you all have the most amazing week this week. Remember, every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if it's not raining, catch us live. We'll talk about the garden chores. I just felt this conversation was really important today, just by talking with a farmer and just all of the things that when we go into the grocery store or wherever, like we don't really think about, but it goes on and it happens. And it's just like, man, thank a farmer. Thank a farmer. And just like I said, I lose some plants all the time, but just think if you have to do what you got to do to make sure that you make that harvest so that not only you can feed others, but you got to be able to feed your family too. So I just had the most amazing conversation with this guy, and I did. I got his number, and I'll keep in contact with him and touch bases. But I just felt my heart just was like, God dang it. We had some flooding here in the Atlanta area when Helene came. And I didn't realize, like he said, he was hit by both of them back to back. And he's trying to harvest his pecan, like he's trying to harvest things. And you got to try to cut trees down and deal with that and deal with the insurance company. But I'm saying all that to say, y'all, is I always tell Chris, sometimes when you just have a conversation with people, like you may think, oh, I got this and that to do, just like, oh, I got some. But sometimes when you have a conversation with people, it just brings you back to how grateful you should be. How grateful. Like I was so filled with gratitude, like just listening to him. And he just took those few hours to just kind of like come to the fair, decompress, because like he said, early in the morning he got to try to get on the phone with the insurance companies, cut down some trees to get out of the way so he could do the harvest. And here I am like, oh, okay, let me see what I could plant, like it just makes me practice so much gratitude. It does. And so I always feel like that, like just when you're on the brink of starting to not necessarily complain, but just when you're on the brink, it's like somebody comes up and have a conversation with you, and you say to yourself, you know what, like I tell Chris all the time, you know what, life is good. Life is good. So I want y'all to create the most amazing week this week. I always tell people, create it. Okay, you create it. You are the creator. You create the most amazing week. We'll talk again soon, y'all. I got some videos coming out for you. um on the one that I'm going to put out, I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow. I really need your opinion. I want your help. I'm asking a question, and I want y'all to put it in the comments. Tell me what you think, because that may be on my next week chore once I get everybody's comment, and then we'll go from there. All right, y'all. So y'all have a good week. We'll talk.